So, good morning, everyone. We are from the Enterprise Network course, and this is our practical exercise one presentation. So, my group member is Sivabalan and Nandakumaran, and myself is Sriram. This project is guided by our lecturer in Sharul Nasmi. So, the objectives of this activity are to configure and manage CDP or Cisco Discovery Protocol and LLDP or Link Layer Discovery Protocol, and then we need to configure NTP, which stands for Network Time Protocol, for time synchronization across network devices. And then we need to discover and document all network device IP addresses using these protocols. So the tools used are routers, switches, and PCs. So the server named one, and then the switch SW11, and then router 1 R1, and then switch SW12, and then there's a PC1 2, and then there's router over right hand side. There's this switch down it, and then another switch connected, and then another switch connected to the same switch, and then there's different PC for each switch, which is PCTW03 for switch W03 and PCTW02 for switch W02. So in this scenario, I am working as a network administrator who has been assigned to access a new client's network. The client's network currently has incomplete documentation, which makes it difficult to manage and troubleshoot. So, my main task is to identify, record, and document all the devices and their IP addresses within the network. To accomplish this, I will use Cisco Discovery Protocol and Link Layer Discovery Protocol. These protocols help to automatically discover neighboring network devices such as switches, routers, and PCs along with their interface details and IP information. So, additionally, I will configure network time protocol on the router. The network time protocol configuration ensures that all devices in the network have synchronized time, which is very important to accurate logging, monitoring, and troubleshooting. Since some of the device IP addresses are known, I will use CDP and LLDP outputs to discover them. Once identified, I will establish SSH connections for secure remote access and record all the discovered information in the addressing table. This process helps maintain proper documentation, improves network visibility, and ensures that all devices are properly synchronized and managed within the network. So in this part of the activity, I perform several configurations on the router and switches to manage device discovery protocols. So the step one, on the router, I first disable CDP using the command no CDP run. This command stops the router from sending or receiving any Cisco discovery protocol packets. After that, I verified it using the command show CDP, which confirmed that CDP is not enabled. So the next step, I enable LLDP globally on the same router. I entered configuration mode and used the command level LLDP run. After enabling it, I verified it using show LLDP, and the output showed that LLDP was active and advertisements were being sent every 30 seconds. So on the next step, step 3, then I configure the interface G0/0/0 and G0/0/1 on the router to only receive LLDP messages. I did this by typing LLDP receive and no LLDP transmit under each interface. This means the router will only listen to LLDP messages but will not advertise itself to others. So the final step, finally I disable CDP on both switch 1 and switch 1 2 switches. I entered global configuration mode and used the no CDP run command on each switch. The verification command shows CDP confirm that CDP was disabled on both devices. So these steps ensure that only LLDP is running in the network for device discovery and CDP is completely turned off.
Hello everyone, my name is Sivabaran of Devendran. Today I would like to explain about practical exercise 1. I'm going to start from step 5 of exercise 1, configure LLDP. What is LLDP? LLDP is a link layer discovery protocol. Okay, in step 5, it asks us to do enable LLDP on switch 11 and switch 12 switches. So to configure it, we go into the global configuration mode and use the command LLDP run. Okay. So by doing this, the LLDP will run automatically. To verify it, we're going get back into the access privilege mode and use the command show LLDP. So by type this command, we can see the status is active or not, and we can see here the status is active. So which means step 5 is complete on both switches. Okay, now we're going to step 6. Step 6 is configure switch 11 and switch 12 switches to make the links to the routers to only send and not receive LLDP messages. So to configure it, we're going to start from interface G01 on both switches. Okay, and then type no LLDP receive. So it means it won't receive any LLDP messages, and LLDP transmit is to send messages from LLDP, and then we're going to add. Okay, so by doing this, step 6 is complete. Okay, and then we move on to step 7, which is the last step of exercise 1, configure LLDP. Okay. This step is ask us to do disable LLDP completely on the switch 11 and switch 12. So it's a very simple thing to do. Okay, we get into the interface FA01 and then type no LLDP transmit and no LLDP receive on both switches. By doing this, um, the both switches won't send or receive any LLDP messages. Okay, now we are in exercise 2, configure CDP. Okay, so what is a CDP? CDP, Cisco Discovery Protocol, is a Cisco proprietary layer 2 protocol that allows Cisco devices like router and switches to automatically discover and share information about directly connected Cisco devices. It also helps administrators identify such as neighbor devices name, IP addresses, interface connections, device types and models, and also iOS versions. Okay, so the question 1 is asking activate CDP on router to routers. Okay, so to configure it, we go into the global configuration mode and then type CDP run and then exit. So it will back to the use access privilege mode. So over here, we're going to type show CDP to verify it, and then the CDP is running successfully. So the question was is completed. The second question is connect to switch to 1 over SSH. You will not be able to open a CLI window by clicking the branch switches. Okay, this is the biggest task in this particular exercise 1. Okay, so we're going to start from IP domain name, pxerl.com, and the username is admin, and the secret is admin123. And then there are some following commands to type. Okay, the first one is crypto key generate RSA, and it will ask you to replace or not. We're going to replace it by type yes, and then it will ask for how many bits in the modulus. Okay, so we're going to put 1024 bits and type and enter. It will generate automatically. Okay, and there are some even more following commands. Okay, first IPSSH version 2 and then line BTY 04 and local login local, and last one is transport input SSH. Okay, exit. Okay, and then we start again with line BT504. The execute time is 10:0 and it and back to the privilege mode. Type write memory to save all the configuration, and we again back to the global configuration mode. Type enter VLAN 22. The IP address we're going to put is 192.168.50.22, and the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. Okay, we're going to put the command no shutdown, so it won't shut down at any cost. And we're going to create a path for the IP address. So the IP default gateway we're going to give is 192.168.50.1, and then back to normal mode, and we start again with interface FA023. So here we're going to create mode access. So to create that, we need to put some commands, which is switch port mode access, and then switch port access VLAN 22, and no shutdown. Okay. So by doing this everything, we can ping the IP address 192.168.50.22 from PC2 to. Okay. So this question is completed so far. Okay, this is the third question and the last question of exercise 2. Connect to switches switch 2 and switch 3 over SSH. Configure the access ports that are in use to not send CDP message out of the ports. Okay, so to configure it, we start from interface FA0/23. Type command no CDP enable and end it, and back to the privilege mode, type write memory to save the configuration. Do this thing on both switches, switch 2 and switch 3. So by doing this, there is no any access port that I use to send the CDP messages out of the ports. Okay, so the question is completed. Now we are in exercise 3, configure NTP. The first question is configure router 1 to use server 1 at 192.168.20.254 as the NTP server. So to configure it, we get into the global configuration mode first, and then type NTP server, and the IP address is 192.168.20.254, and then just exit and back to the privilege mode, write memory to save the configuration. And when you ping the IP address, which is 192.168.20.254, it will 100% successfully connected. Okay, so the first question of the exercise is completed. Okay, the following questions will be presented by my friend Nanda.
Good morning, everyone, and good morning, sir. My name is Nandakumaran. So, I want to explain about practical exercise 1. In practical exercise 1, I want to explain about exercise 4, that is complete the addressing table. Table 1 addressing table for the client's network. In this exercise, we configure LLDP, that is Link Layer Discovery Protocol. It helps network devices advertise their identity and capabilities to neighboring device even if they are from different vendors. We enable LLDP and on routers and switches to make device discovery easier. This protocol is especially useful for documenting and troubleshooting networks because it automatically reveals connected device. For example, using LLDP, we can view what switch a router is connected to and which interface it uses, which speeds up network mapping. Next, we configure CDP, that is the Cisco Discovery Protocol. It's similar to LLDP but is Cisco proprietary. CDP allows Cisco devices to share information like device ID, IP address, and interface details. By enabling CDP, we could easily discover all neighboring Cisco devices and confirm correct cabling or topology. When we run the show CDP neighbors command, it displays all directly connected Cisco devices which help verify connections. And the protocols like LLDP, CDP, and NTP ensure reliable communication and accurate data exchange across connected systems. In summary, through this practical, we configure LLDP, CDP, and NTP successfully. These configurations improve our understanding of device discovery, time synchronization, and proper IP documentation. It gave us hands-on experience in managing real-world enterprise network environments. Overall, this exercise strengthened our skills in configuring and maintaining efficient network systems, essential for any network administrator. Thank you. That's all from me.